Okay, welcome to Yeshua's King Ministries World News. This is our first broadcast on 7/7/2025. And we've got a good story here for you. And what really needs to happen in this country. This country has dropped or actually fell off the rails. And we got some issues that we need to address. Here's the first issue. We got this one here. All right, going to share screens. And I'm going to make sure that, once again, I'm going to make sure that we share it and then share sound. Okay, so there we go. All right, here it is.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
And there you go. All right, that was, oh, shoot, quite a long time ago, wasn't it? About 3-4 months. All right, we can come over here. I'm going to go ahead and stop this to make sure everybody sees it. All right. And away we go. Nobody can hear anything, and neither can I. All right.
On disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. A review ordered by the Justice Department and the FBI found no evidence that Epstein kept a client list of associates who he blackmailed or conspired with to victimize dozens of women. That's according to a new memo reviewed by ABC News. The DOJ also released hours of footage which officials say further confirms that Epstein died by suicide while in his jail cell in Manhattan in 2019. His death came weeks after his arrest on federal sex trafficking and conspiracy charges. According to the Federal Review, no further charges are expected in connection to the Epstein case, and no further records will be released from the investigation.
Okay, folks. Y'all get it now? Patel, he's a liar. He lied his way into the office. He's not on your side. Bongini, he did the same thing, or Gino, whatever the hell his name is, don't really care. The deputy, not on your side. There's no justice with those people. It is no different than what it was over a year ago. Okay, no different. Now, you guys, many people started worshiping Trump. They forgot all about Yeshua. You know why? And I know why. Is because Trump was, he was promising you money, so he bribed you. Okay, we all know that. This is a disgraced financier, sex offender Jeffrey Epstein did not blackmail powerful figures as part of the client list. When they've been saying this the whole time. They even said there was a client list, and they won't be releasing those and everything else. So, what's the difference between Pam Bondi, Patel, and Bongini, or whatever his name is, and anybody else that's been in there? There's no difference, man. There's none whatsoever. They never were. Here, I'll even show you this, so you know this is not fake news. Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right. Yeah, Bongino. He was supposed to be this big tough guy. Remember him? He was all that in a bag of chips. And Patel, oh yeah, this big tough guys. They're going to come out and they're going to do what's right. Yeah, they just covered it all up. That's what they did. So your faith, if you had any faith in these people, it was misdirected. Okay, here's your problem: U.S. Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation. As our part commitment to transparency, you don't get it's transparent, all right. Y'all just hid a bunch of stuff. That's what you did. Now, can you imagine all the girls and whatever boys and everything else that were victims of these people? They could care less about that, couldn't they? They're worried about politics. This is Trump right here. Okay? There's two things. When you guys bowed down to him, got on your knees and started praising him like you've never seen anybody praised before in your life. I'd never seen anybody worshiping another guy like this guy. Okay? Believe me, I'm in no way jealous of that man in any way, shape, or form. I do not have a motive here other than truth and my zealousness for my king. All right? That's what this is about. It's about my king. King Yeshua. It's about him. So, but however, you have been worshiping Trump for many years. I'm talking about those who are following him blindly. Been worshiping him unbelievably. I mean, it's just bad, really bad. Okay. Over 10,000 downloaded videos and images of illegal child sex abuse material and other pornography. Yeah, I guess all you just went to town on it, didn't you? You've been sitting here looking at it. Teams of agents, analysis, attorneys, privacy and civil liberties experts combined through the digital and documentary evidence. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's show how thorough you are. A systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. Oh, okay. No incriminating client list. This is coming from them. They hid it. They hid it, folks. They're hiding Disney. They're hiding the fact that Disney used to stop at Epstein Island for a snorkel trip for kids that are 9 years old, 9 and 12. The snorkeling was for them. They would stop by Epstein Island. They didn't want Disney all involved in this. Y'all get it? You see what's happening here? No difference. Why? Because man's heart always fails. You never have faith in men. Ever. They always fail. This one has failed. I never trusted Bondi in the beginning when they put her up there because Trump's a woman worshiper, and I know that. He worships women big time. He puts them in places in his cabinets and all that stuff. You know better than to put a woman in charge of FBI or US DOJ because this is what happens. You don't do that. She's not meant to lead. She's meant to follow her husband and to go home and start taking care of children and her family. That's where she should be. All right, but Trump doesn't do that. Trump worships women, which is the United States. It worships liberty. It worships Columbia, a goddess. That's what it does. So they got the right man in there, and he was able to sell this to you guys, to everybody, for many years now, since 2016. He was able to sell his load of crap. Nothing really came out of the JFK files where he was assassinated. And you know what? The man has a big old hole in his head, and he went under the ground. Everybody, there's theories that he never died, all this other kind of crap. I'm not listening to any of that garbage. Okay, the man was killed. That's it. CIA was involved. That's it. And if you don't get rid of the CIA or the FBI, it's not going to change. None of this is going to change. So once again, Trump failed, and he's failing big time. Okay, here's another failure. the very first day or first week that idiot gets in there, okay, he starts creating data centers. Guess what that's going to do? That's going to take all your privacy away. It's also all the stores are starting to are accommodate data centers. What do I mean by that? It's going to have to be recognition. In other words, you're going to have to get this digital ID. So what's idiot doing? He's putting data centers in so they can get a digital ID going. He's setting it up for the New World Order. He's setting up world government in the U.S. Don't believe me? Okay. He's the one that ordered the vaccine that has killed millions upon millions of people all over the world. Him and Fauci, they're partners. I'm talking about Donald Trump and Fauci are partners. Elon was correct. Trump name does come up on the client list. He was there. But no. He separated himself from Epstein. Something was wrong with that. Yeah, sure. All the women that you've been messing with, dude, come on. We know you do not have a moral compass. Everybody knows that. But they were willing to overlook it. But this has gone so far that you're willing to overlook a vaccine. It killed millions of people. I rebuke the vaccine in the name of Yeshua. I rebuke it. I'm not involved in that. I don't want to be a part of that. Then what Alex Jones comes up, starts making excuses for that vaccine. You're overlooking it. You're not holding him responsible. You know what? The man needs to be on trial for genocide. That's the truth. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But you know what? It just might when he closes his eyes for the last time and stops breathing. I highly suggest that he comes out and starts repenting for what he's done. All right? And stop these data centers as fast as possible. You don't need all that information. You don't need all this. Digital IDs, you don't need any of that. All that is for the mark of the beast. Everybody knows that. People are saying it, but they're not ready to come out and say it. I'm saying it. Yeshua's King Ministries World News is saying it. And it needs to happen. And all you people that say that, oh, I follow Jesus, I follow him. Oh, yeah, that's my Lord and Savior. Really? You realize that's a monarchy, right? That's not a democratic republic or a republic. That's a monarchy. So when you're fighting for a republic, you're fighting against the monarchy that's in place already. That's what you're doing. You're fighting Yeshua. You're fighting what he's trying to do, which is get you safe, straighten you out, clean you up, make you somebody that it could be proud of who they are. Stand up straight. So here's the start. Here it is. Well, let me see what we got. Okay, y'all saw that. Now, like I said before, the reign of the heavens is not a. We've moved away from the idea that it's a country. At least I have. It's been revealed to me that it's actually a sphere, and that's in some of my my last sermons. Okay. Now, people have claimed that when they take they do a resident declaration or they do this or that somehow we're getting paid for people to do that, and we don't get paid for that. This is one thing that they like to say. They're taking money out of our accounts. You don't have an account. Why would I need money out of your account? If I had my own money and my own account, why would I need yours? I don't want yours. I don't steal. I don't understand what you're saying there. That doesn't make any sense. That's called a false and fraudulent accusation. Literally, we were here to help, especially with the United States of America and everything else. We all came together and started working to help others. The more we educated them, the more that they turned around and tried to sue us. I know one guy that tried to do that almost within 3 months because I wouldn't let him on a platform where he's going around and harassing people. Then all of a sudden I was in violation of human rights, but she never even heard of human rights 90 days before that. A lot of that happened. When everybody sees a certain episode, never have asked my side. They always joined the side that was against me, but never asked what my point of view was or my story. It was all just bash, bash, bash. Okay? So there's a disclaimer at the bottom of this. Reign of the Heavens is a sphere. It's not a country. So I'm repenting for that. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. RE. It's the only place that they put this under a religious sphere. We don't get into religion, okay? We're just simply followers of the way, the truth, and life, which is not a religion, okay? And a religion, in my opinion, is man's interpretation of the scriptures. And if you believe that interpretation, you'll go to heaven. I don't believe that. I never have believed that. And I think people are just doing their own thing, okay, and try to get control of others using Yeshua's name. That's what I believe it is. They use the Father's name, try to put the fear of God in you to do what they tell you. I believe that's what the Amish are doing. If you start talking about Yeshua, man, the Amish freak out. They'll shun you. That's just who they are. Okay. But just ignore the word religious. All right. The sphere refers to the domain or realm where beliefs, practices, institutions, and individuals operate and interact. It encompasses the spiritual dimension of life, including faith, worship, and the influence of religious ideas on various aspects of society. The religious sphere or sphere is distinct from other spheres, like the political, economic, and social spheres, though it can intersect and interact with them. Okay? So reign of the heavens is a sphere. And that was put in Matthew when Yeshua started saying the reign of the heavens has drawn near. It came out from the scriptures, which was published in 1998 or 99. And where a bunch of scholars got together and went directly from the Hebrew to English. And then where they didn't find the Hebrew, they replaced it with the Greek to English. Okay, that's all it is. Same scripture, same everything. But just because King James didn't put his signature on it doesn't mean it's not valid. All right. Now, when this revelation came to me about the reign of the heavens, I said, "Oh, there it is." Okay. So we had already had a constitution put in place. Funny that we never put country in there, except for in the email. But we never really did that in that constitution. We have an administration in place. That administration, what it does is acts as a second witness for you of your claim. Okay. What claim is that? Okay. That you sent, this is what you do. Come over here, become a citizen of Yeshua. You hereby declare, accept, and recognize the authority of Yahushua, different names so people can relate, Jesus the Christ, Yeshua over me as my Messiah, Savior, and King, which means you are going directly over him or under him as his citizen and subject. And we have a copy of declarations right here. Okay. And that link is right there. You'll receive an email to let you know when your interview will be scheduled with the Ministry of Peace and Reconciliation. See, we need to help understand there's a second witness here. The reason why you're going there is to say, all right, did you do this voluntarily or were you forced to do this? Okay. This is all going to be recorded. We were not, if you did it voluntarily, awesome. This is all we're wanting to know. So we can act as a second witness. In your case, we can back you up. That's an administration that's directly under Yeshua. Okay. that administration does not do what other governments do. They don't do what they say. Not subject to other governments. Okay. Now, the interview is verifying whether you know what you signed and the obligations thereof. It is not an interview as to whether you are good enough to be a citizen of King Yeshua. In other words, we're not there to judge you on your character, on your character and all that. What we're there to do is just verify that you did this, you know what you did, and do you understand the obligations thereof? Which means you got to clean up, you've got to repent, all these things. Do you know that you have to do this? If you smoke, you need to quit smoking. If you're drinking, you need to quit drinking. If you're doing drugs, you need to stop doing that. If you're going around and sleeping with a bunch of women or a bunch of men, got to stop that. All these things need to happen for you. Okay, do you need to go on their way? Yes. And we will be second witnesses if that's what you're doing. The administration will. Okay? So not Yeshua's King Ministries. We're not a part of this. We're a part of the reign within the sphere of the reign of the heavens, but we are separate from the temple and all that. Okay, we have our own ministry. Just so you let you know, we're separated from that. Okay, now your signature and photo will only be used in the documents you authorize your signature on. Nobody in any way is attempting to take your estate. This is kind of the stupid things we hear. We are simply helping you in your process of submitting to Yeshua by being a second witness. That's all we're doing. Nothing else. You do not have an account in the Federal Reserve with billions of dollars in it. It does not exist. No one's trying to take your estate because you know what? Yeshua has your estate. You have all these people trying to go around and claim their estate, but they don't go find Yeshua to claim it, do they? They try telling the United States, oh, we're here to claim our estate. The United States hasn't claimed your estate. No one's claimed your estate. It belongs to Yeshua. Even they know that. Okay? So everybody knows Trump's working for bankers. Everybody knows that. And he's working for Rockefeller. We know that. Rockefeller is one of his biggest backers. Why do you think he's going pump the oil? Drill, baby, drill, this whole deal. That's all pushing Rockefeller stuff. Rockefeller owns all the oil stuff around here. So everybody should know and put it together that that's who Trump's working for. He's not working for you. He's working for him. All right. And all they're doing is, hey, you guys are abusing the slaves. That's what's happening. And we're going to, we're going to take care of you. We're going to take care of the slaves. You don't abuse the slaves and hurt them because all you're doing is destroying your own base. That's what they're doing. Nothing else. They're not trying to free you. He just put another couple trillion obligation on you. That big BBB, he just put that on your debt. You're going to have to pay for that. All of it. So please, folks, go back to Yeshua. Go to Yeshua. Go to him. We'll do it here. We'll be a witness for you. And you're going to get a citizen certificate, a citizen of Yeshua with your picture on it and your name and all that. And it's going to be signed by our Minister of Foreign Affairs. And you have a second witness that, hey, my king is Yeshua. See, I'm tired of those people. Well, you need to do the law of the land. Oh, really? Okay, so the law that the lawyers wrote up for themselves to benefit them in the stock market and everywhere else, and y'all did it under Lady Liberty, under her name, Columbia, and I don't know her, don't want to know her, and would never bow down to her. She can't give me salvation, and neither can you. So why would I listen to those who cannot give me salvation, who don't have it? I've repented for almost everything I've ever done. I'm still, still going down the narrow way, still working things out. Nobody's perfect. Okay. But I'm not out here trying to hurt people, kill them, or anything else for some political idea. And I'll do whatever I can to help you out. It's as simple as that. So I don't need laws other than two: love my father with all my heart, mind, and being, and love my neighbor as myself. That fulfills all your laws. I don't have administrative obligations towards your financial goals when you're just creating money out of thin air. And I know what you're doing. You're having people sign promissory notes, and you're depositing them in your banks and say it's money. It's not hard. And then you come back like you have some kind of say, or that you can prove your point. Okay, and you can prove your claim. You have no claim. It's very simple. But you know one who does have claim? That's Yeshua. He was given all the power on earth and in heaven. This is his. All of this belongs to him. And I acknowledge that in front of everybody, in front of the whole world. Yeshua's king. He's owed. He has claim. He bought everything, including you. You are owned by him. And you know what? That only benefits you. What that does is it keeps you out of the wrath of the Father so that you don't go to hell. I'd highly suggest, I'm owned by Yeshua. You need to turn that around. If you say, I'm not owned by anybody, guess what? You got the wrath of the Father because he's already judged you. That judgment is set. You can go listen to Mary Kay Baxter when they're walking around in hell, looking at these people on fire. And he goes, judgment set. I can't do anything. They didn't turn to him. Because they didn't turn to him while they're here on earth, they get to sit there and burn in hell. Then there's those that were foolish that will come out and say, oh, well, he's this and he's that. You only do that because there's no revenge on you yet. But here's the funny thing. He says revenge is his, belongs to the Father. And the Father will do to them what they do to you. Because revenge is his. You know where that happens? That happens in hell. I've heard so many people that everything that they have done on earth happens to them over and over and over again in hell. So that's taking a Bible reference and verse and bringing it to reality today from people that have had near-death experiences. I think it was Pittman that said, yeah, you followed him because he was arguing with him. He was arguing with the Father and Yeshua. He says, you followed him, but you didn't put him under you or over you. You didn't follow him. Okay. You listened to everything else. You served yourself. Because right now, government with people, okay, government is nothing more than to serve yourself. I recognize that. I did that for 10 years with the United States of America. You're just serving yourself. So all this allegiance and all this almost spiritual energy that you're giving this man who is misrepresenting himself, who has not taken responsibility for the vaccine that killed millions, that has put in data centers and all this stuff to get information on you. What do you think? What kind of information do you think is going to go in there in the data centers? Or is it going to be AI that gets it all? Every little tidbit of information they have on you will be in that data center. Trump did that. That's for the freedom. It's for your freedom. You liar. It's not for your freedom. He's lying to you. Oh, in the wrong hands, this could be dangerous. Well, it is in the wrong hands because you're the one that's helping doing it, Trump. And I've heard other politicians whisper these things. Yeah, I don't think the people are going to be too fond of losing all of their privacy. Yeah, I know. I'm not. I'm a man just like Trump. Okay, he is no better than me. I'm no better than him. We are equal. I do not need to report to him. I don't need to tell him what I do. I don't. It's none of his business what goes on in my family. It's none of his business that goes on what goes on in my house. It's none of his business at all. Just no more somebody's business than it is the leader of China or North Korea. That's between it's none of his business. And I'm sorry, my Zoom went down, so I'm gonna start where I think I remember. All right, it's none of his business what goes on in my house. It's none of his business what goes on anywhere. It's none of NSA's business. It's none of FBI's business. It's not and it's not a crime to say that. Well, if you don't have anything to hide, I don't have anything to hide. It's called privacy. I'm a grown man. I don't need daddy. Okay. My relationship, my allegiance is with Yeshua, not you. He's the only one that's never lied to me. He's the only one that's never let me down. And he will not fail you. Today, sad day. Sad day for a DOJ and FBI. You people, you suck. You have failed. You lied, you've cheated, and you have sided with Epstein and what he's done. You're just as guilty of all the crimes he committed because you hid his crimes. And you hid everybody else that was involved, their crimes. All of you are the same. Patel, you're a child molester now, buddy. And you're a child trafficker. That's what you are. Bongino, same thing. Bondi, same thing. Trump, these are your people. You don't do anything within the next 30 days with these idiots. You're nothing more than a child trafficker because now you just joined with that side. You decided not to stand in front of it. What, pressure got too much for you? No, it's because your hearts are weak. You have filial love in them. You don't have agape. You won't stand up to things. You'll fold, just like Peter did. You'll fold because you didn't have agape love. He didn't either. That's why he denied him 3 times. That's what Yeshua was telling people. You don't have any love in you. And none of you people do either. It's as simple. Yeshua doesn't fail you. He never fails. That's why demons hate him. That's why all the bad boys or bad guys hate him. Because he never fails. And it's to their demise. So, like I said, you want to proclaim that? You don't need us if you don't want to do it. You don't want to use the reign of the heavens as a second witness. That's fine. It's up to you. Doesn't matter to me. That's less paperwork we have to do. All right. So, that's it right there. So this is what you, if you are tired of being, disappointed, just go here. That's Reign of the Heaven Society Temple. Become a citizen of King Yeshua. The link, become a citizen of Yeshua. Okay. And people say, well, how do you become a citizen? He's the government. The government's on his shoulders. He is the government. When you become a citizen and a subject, he's your government. So you are a citizen and subject of him. not anything separate of him. Reign of the heavens is a sphere where people can gather, separate from other countries and other lands. And eventually, his kingdom will encompass, well, it does now, but it's going to be enforced where it encompasses the whole world. It's already all there. This is our choosing time. This is why you're here on earth. I've said this before. Find him, make a choice. Don't listen to that church that comes back and says, oh, you accepted him as this, this, and this. You're saved. You don't have to do anything else. That's complete crap. That's a bold-faced lie. I was lied to like that. So are a lot of people. So they get really surprised when they go to heaven and they figured out they weren't saved. That he comes back and says, I never knew you. Very surprised. Because you listen to that goofy preacher. I didn't know what he was talking about. So thank you for listening to Yeshua's King Ministries World News. We do appreciate it. If you want to change your life, this is the way to do it. If you don't want to do it to us or don't want to do that, then fine. You can do it with yourself or your own church. I would love for this to be in all churches, to start bringing people over to King Yeshua and stop trying to fill their pockets with lies. Okay? If they all turned and said, you know what, I think I want to be a citizen of King Yeshua because he doesn't fail me, never fails me. He never lies, never fails me. Regardless of what idiots want to claim. So passport photo is for your certificate. We put your picture on there. You can use it as an ID if you want. That's why we're asking for that. And then a copy of your declarations. And we need a signature to sign that document. Okay. That's what we need. That's it. So we can put the citizen certificate together. And we have a file for you. It's your record. Okay. Or at least the Reign of the Heavens does. The administration there. They have a constitution and all that. But remember, Yeshua's King Ministries is separate from that. We have our own our own missions that we come up with and do. Okay, so thank you for listening to the Yeshua's King Ministries World News, and we'll see you next time.